Hey you guys, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I hope that you are doing well as the country begins to open up. In the meantime, I have a cool little video for you guys, so stay tuned. Hey guys, so let's get right into it. Today I'm going to talk about 3 lies that I have believed that are just not true, and where I'm at today with those lies. So honestly, to start out, the first lie was that I would never be pretty because I'm dark skinned. When I was in middle school, being dark skinned was not cool. I was bullied, I was talked about. I just wasn't in because I was dark skinned, and all of the girls that I hung out with. Sorry guys, I got a phone call, but anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, being in middle school and just the friends group that I had, they just were all light skinned. They had really nice, pretty hair, just very opposite to what I was, you know what I mean? And they would have boyfriends and they would have guys that were into them, and I just was low key, honestly, if I'm gonna tell the truth, I was low key jealous because it was like, well, what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? Like, why doesn't anybody want to be my boyfriend? You know what I mean? But little did I know, boys in middle school, just gross. But I still struggled with my skin tone and not wanting to be dark skinned and wanting to have straighter, longer hair. And that just wasn't healthy. Luckily, there were a couple people in my life that I could see and look at, and they were confident in their dark skin or their not so long hair, you know what I mean? And so those were the examples. So those examples that I had were really big esteem boosters for me. And I think that's what I needed because nobody I definitely wasn't talking about having low self-esteem because of my skin color and stuff like that. I definitely wasn't doing anything along those lines, so nobody was really like checking on me and seeing if I was good in that area and stuff. And so, but I also think that was something that I needed to work through because there wasn't anything that I could do or that I was going to do, and so I just needed to get comfortable and love me for exactly who I am, dark skin, nappy hair, and all, you know what I mean? And so once I got out of middle school and went into high school, just the whole narrative of, oh, you're pretty for a dark skinned girl and blah 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 blah, that I feel like every dark skinned girl gets that, and that's just toxic, guys. So stop saying that to dark skinned girls, because we're not pretty just for a dark skinned girl. If you're gonna say that we're pretty, just say you're pretty and I like your skin. That's the same thing. It doesn't have to be, oh, because you're pretty for a dark skinned girl, because it just is not a compliment. So don't do that. Anyway, I got through that phase of my life. I started to become more comfortable with the way that I looked, and I also think that had a lot to do with just growing up, and glow ups can be a whole power move, like obviously we know. So I just think the glow up happened, and there I was. I mean, even in high school though, I still was like called names like Blackie and stuff like that. And so it's just crazy to me when I look at like today's society, like chocolate skin and dark skinned girls and dark skinned men. They are like, people want to be dark skinned, and I just be like, but was you rocking with us when nobody wanted to be dark skinned? And that's another thing that Black people have to be honest about, that colorism is a thing. Colorism is a thing, has always been a thing, and it just shouldn't be, because everybody is beautiful in their own way. So yeah, that was one lie that I told myself, really, and that I really believe, that I just wouldn't be beautiful for as long as I was dark skinned, and that's the rest of my life. So, yeah, lie number two that I believed, let me see, that nobody understands me or that I would always be alone on this earth. And I believed that because I struggled a lot, and I struggled a lot with abandonment issues, and it always was put in my mind that, you know, you're not good enough for anybody to really stick around for you, to be here for you, and none of that. And that's just not the truth. That's not the truth, you know? Like, abandonment issues is one thing, but to believe that you're not good enough for anything, really, for anything, to believe that you'll always be alone, that you're not good enough for somebody to say, hey, I love you and I'll stick around, that is not the truth. And I think that I, you know, held on to those lies because I grew up in a really, I shouldn't say a really large family, but it was a good number of us. Like, it was me, my younger sister, my two older brothers, and then my older sister would come over on the weekends. So it was five of us. It was five of us all in the same place, including like my two parents. So it was a lot of people in the house at certain points in time. And even in those moments, I still just felt like no one understood me. I still just felt like small and alone, and, you know, just by myself for no particular reason. It's just what I told myself, on top of the fact that it just didn't seem like I could be open and honest about, you know, the things that I was struggling with, because I didn't want to be in trouble, or I didn't want anybody to feel uncomfortable, like, you know. And so it was really hard coming out of my shell and growing out of that and creating boundaries for myself and others, and just, you know, just not believing that, and not believing that I've gotten to experience a lot of the opposite. I've gotten to experience things that have told me, you know, like, you are worthy of love. You are, you know, lovable. There's nothing that you can do to make me not love you, and you're not alone. You know what I mean? And I think that has a lot to do with my relationship with God. Like, just always understanding that God is the God who sees me. God is the God who hears me. He is always right there at every moment. Even though I might forget that, he doesn't. Like, every time he is waiting and willing to just be a comforter for me. And so I think believing in God and my faith and my relationship with God has really helped pull me out of that. Also, my mom, she came into my life when I was 17. So I have my bio parents. I lived with my bio parents for pretty much my whole life. I had a little bit of time at the beginning of my life that I was in foster care while they were getting their lives together, my parents. And then when I was about 16, 17, another woman came into my life as a mother figure, and she was literally like a godsend. Like, I was ready to get out of here. Like, I was done living. I didn't care about going to college. I was like, I just stopped caring about everything for a minute. And if it hadn't have been for her just presence, and it just her presence in my life, I don't think that I would have really survived that era of depression. And so I'm really grateful for her. Even now, like, she allows me, like, even at 24, she allows me to depend on her for everything. Even though, you know, as a 24-year-old woman, about to be 25, I shouldn't need to as much. I feel like that's me, you know. I feel like I shouldn't need her as much as I do, but she doesn't have that same energy, you know. She's always been there. She's always comforted me when I needed to. Tough love has been a thing, like, helping me understand who I am for real as a woman, you know. She's just been an overall blessing. So, and she also is another really big part as to why why I understand the thinking that nobody understands me and I'll always be alone in this earth is like dismantled. Like, it's just not the truth, because there will always be someone here that I can talk to, that I can, be honest with, that I can, cry to, that I can depend on, emotionally. And that's just every woman, especially every young adult, every person that's growing up, especially in today's society, needs to know that, needs to have that. And so I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, that's a second lie that I think that I've believed. What is a third lie that I might have believed? That I just can't do it on my own. I can't do anything on my own. I will always need the support, whether it's financially or whatever, from someone else. And in my recent move from Seattle to Atlanta, I think that alone has like crushed that lie 100%, because it's tough at no matter what age you are. It's tough to just move, period, especially in today's society. It's just tough to move, and to have the courage and be brave enough to move clear across the country. That tells me that I have more inside of me that I even know that I'm capable of. And so it's important to figure those things out, and so I just want to tell you guys, like, it doesn't matter what lie you've been told or what lie you believe. What matters is the truth. So if you're telling yourself, oh, I'll never be good enough for this, or I'll never get a chance to do this, you have to change your mind. You have to change your mind about that, because it's a lie. It's a lie. And the thing about this generation is we always want to keep it 100, and you always want a real nigga. You know what I mean? Like, you have to like understand what's real and what's fake, what's the truth and what's a lie, and always go with the truth. Always go with the truth, because the lies that you feed yourself, whether it's something you heard, whether it's something you believe, whether it's something you've seen about yourself, the lies are lies, and they don't service you. They don't do anything for you. So it's important to really get rid of those quickly, because it will really stunt a lot of opportunity for yourself. It will stunt growth. It will stunt healing, and everybody deserves it. Everybody has the right to healing. And so I really just want to encourage you guys to go get your healing. Like, that's just that. And we got to stop tearing ourselves down. Just like we got to stop tearing other people down, we have to start with ourselves. Yeah, that's it for today's video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well, because why wouldn't you want to? So also, follow me on Instagram at Hella Devotion. Next time, Girly Gang. Bye. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.